What's going on, Bud Mashers? I'm Mr. Gamer.
And I'm Kitty Duvall.
And welcome to episode 16 of SBRReports. It's not like it's a good deal or anything, Gamestop.
Oh, you.
What? I don't have to like this.
But before we don't like that, let's not like this first story.
This trash human being, this Lee Vaseline, Vasagel, whatever. Oh, yeah.
You said Vasagel.
I'm not even going to give this person the benefit of getting his name right. But let's go on to this story. So, unfortunately, there seems to be a very common theme with some people who live stream, and more specifically, people who live stream and play LOL or League of Legends. For those who are unfamiliar with the acronym, and there was a particular gamer by the name of Lee Vasily Wei Yun. Apparently this person, ex-player, I can say ex-player now.
He's ex-professional player.
Ex-professional player. He has a habit of flaming, raging, trashing equipment. Basically, he is just the embodiment of rage in a video game. Now, he's good at League of Legends, don't get me wrong. He is good at it. But I guess behind the scenes, off camera, but unfortunately on camera, at this point, he is a trash human being.
I mean, off cameras, on cameras, like everybody knew this because, in 2016, after his team lost to another team, they weren't even able to celebrate because he was busy throwing his keyboard across the room, and they're just kind of sitting there looking like, bruh.
Yeah, it got pretty bad. Unfortunately, the reason that this story went out, got so much attention is, and I need to make sure that this is prefaced correctly. So, allegedly, he was beating his girlfriend on stream. Now, let me make sure that I'm clear. In the article on my site, from the website bestinslot.co, where we found this story, there is a link to a YouTube clip where he is angry and raging, and the article actually shows they transcribed what they could from just the loud, kind of, not very good audio from the YouTube clip. And what you hear is the girlfriend kind of
trying to calm him down because he was already raging about somebody that he was playing against, and pretty much telling him, you look dumb.
Yeah, like, hey.
Trying to be like, tough love. Hey, honey, babe, you look dumb.
Like, hey, stop this. Especially, we're on camera. Like, hey, just like, calm down, chill out. Apparently, he didn't like hearing any of that. And so he flipped the table, literally table flipped, which knocked down the computer, but everything was still running. So though the webcam had turned over, everything was still recording. And so you don't see anything, but you can hear it. Now, obviously this is all allegedly, though he has been arrested and he has been removed from his pro team.
And no one is sure if if viewers called the police or if the girlfriend was able to call the police, but he has been kicked off of Newbie's team. And esports.
Riot.
Yeah.
They've banned his account, anything, like, they don't want to have anything to do with this.
He has been suspended until the end of this investigation, essentially.
Which, I mean, at this point, I got zero sympathy for someone like this.
Honestly, I'm upset personally about stories like this because why does it take someone so close getting hurt when everybody saw the signs?
Not to mention,
like, someone's willing to break their equipment at a professional esports tournament, as some people don't like that. But the point is, you're willing to do something in a big setting and show your ass, and nobody thinks, he probably not going to be a good fit for the team.
Like, what? You give gamers a bad name. Like, Imagine somebody wanting to get into the pro scene and this is what they think about. Imagine somebody who is literally trying to make themselves the best of whatever sort of game. Heck, they could be the best at Flappy Bird. Or let's get a little bit more serious. Overwatch. They want to be the best at Overwatch to get sponsors or something like that. Can you imagine how hard it's going to be because you got trash human beings like this?
Yeah, it's like, I feel like when someone gets to the point they're breaking their controller, and the only person that pops into my brain right now is Markiplier when he was playing I Am Bread.
Ah, yes, he did.
It's like, as much as I love him, that wasn't Markiplier at his best. And another thing, it's YouTube. It's YouTube. Whatever you put out, unless it's live stream, is edited. Why wouldn't you want to put out your best? It just didn't. Props to him for being honest on how he does things or what went down. But the thing is that it's so common and people laugh at people raging so hard like this that I don't think people realize that anger does translate to physical and verbal violence to those around them. Granted, some people might not care, and that's your prerogative, but that's the reality. Yeah. Your favorite rage quitter is an abusive piece of shit.
We don't know that for certain.
Not all of them.
This
guy definitely is.
Well, yes, like
they at least show the signs of someone who's an abusive piece of shit.
Like Dudley put it best, gutter trash. That is what this particular individual is. But what I don't want, because the thing with people on YouTube who want to do rage quit is it's hopefully and safely assumed that they are simply acting like Angry Joe. He isn't always angry. He isn't.
He's a great example of someone who takes a character and runs with it.
There we go. It's a character.
But you know he's a character that runs with it.
And people like that. This wasn't a character. This is anger and very terrible management of said anger personified, and this is, well, the consequences of said actions. But what I don't want is for, like, because there is a place for rage gamers. I mean, by the way, speaking of rage, so it turns out that the votes were in, all of, well, very small votes, but still. So yeah, it's Cuphead. I'm getting Cuphead now. So I'll have to set that aside for later.
But I think I will choose my words better. But I think what people don't realize is that once it gets to a point that they're like that in public in a professional, I will say if they get like that in public, there's an issue. Because it's not like he's sitting at home doing this. He's been sitting at these tournaments. He's been sitting with other people raging. Like, I feel like when that happens, people need to realize that this might not be a character.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, thank goodness his girlfriend's not dead or anything like that. Because I know a lot of people who would probably be really hurt and upset that they even gave this person their coins.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just think about what's going on with YouTube. People don't want to put anything controversial on there because they'll be deemed not advertiser friendly. So I imagine that goes double when you are literally slapping your logo on someone's back, or they have an overlay while they're playing Overwatch or something like that. So yeah, I can imagine it would be in their best interest to steer clear of anything like that.
Well, I'm not even thinking about the companies, because quite frankly, corporations are just that, corporations, and the reason why they probably overlooked this for so long, because money. I'm talking about the fans who actually care, the fans that just want to see their fave be not problematic, or not as problematic, because everybody is problematic one way or another.
And I'm going to disagree with that, but
everybody has their issues. That's all that means. It's not bad. It's not good. You're human, Mr. Gamer.
Yes, I know.
You're not perfect.
I am.
You're very problematic when it comes to Mario Kart, so to speak.
What? What?
But
excuse the French toast out of me.
But let's cart over to this next topic, because I feel like we spent too much time on this.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna get you back for that last one. But anyway, moving forward, we have actually a really interesting piece. So, GameStop, a company who I would honestly have no problem seeing devolving into absolute nothingness, like, Blockbuster.
Let it burn. That's him. He would be singing the Let It Burn song if it set on fire.
I would have no problems with this.
Shirtless in the rain.
But they have released something called the Power Pass. The Power Pass is a subscription service for 6 months. $60 for the whole 6 months, and you get to enjoy unlimited gaming for essentially the price of one new one. But it is only limited to pre-owned titles. Now, there have been updates to this story since it first came out. The latest piece of news is that the plan includes that before it was said that you can only have a game, you can only own the last game out of the month. So it would be 6 months and you would only be able to get the last game that you played during that month. Well, you get to keep the last game. Let me make sure I'm understanding this. Players can choose any game they've played in their 6-month subscription to keep it at the end, not just the last one played. This is why the Power Up Rewards membership is needed. It helps GameStop keep track of the games users took in and out of the store.
Which is pretty nifty for, let's say I don't know, what's a freaking game people play? I feel like an old person right now. Dang.
Horizon. Horizon Zero Dawn. There we go.
Okay, let's say you played that and then you went over to... Is Fable even still a thing?
No, Fable is definitely dead.
Okay.
But if it was available physically at a GameStop, you could get it.
You get that. You get The Sims. You get all these different types of games. And you know what? You decided you wanted to go with Fable because you're probably never going to find that again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Now, see, what I thought was you get to keep the game after every month. But according to this article, you get to keep the last one you take. And based off of the update, players can choose any game they've played in their 6-month subscription to keep at the end. So, you only keep one
game that you played out of 6 months. That means you get to pretty much test drive all these games.
And then you get to keep the one that you want within 6 months. Now, I was doing my best to try to find some type of fault.
He even did math wrong.
Some type of shaft, some type of something that GameStop would do. Something that GameStop wants to just get their grimy little hands on and just squeeze every bit out of you. But I am finding that difficult. I actually like this, and I really, really, really don't want to.
I kind of like it too, just because, one, it's great for people who bust the system anyway, as far as GameStop goes. So they're just pretty much going, okay, we see y'all getting these games, trading them back in, getting more games. How about we just let you rent them? Plus, this is a way for them to sell their power-up rewards, which is $15 a year.
Which is the only way you can actually get the Power Pass.
Or $30 a year if you want the Elite.
Yeah, the Elite Pro, I guess. But so regardless, doing the math with your power-up rewards.
And I think the first tier player is actually free because it doesn't say if you have to be pro.
Well, true. It says the power-ups requirement. So no. Let's see. The Power Up Rewards member. So
yeah, the first one is free.
Okay. So you're telling, wow,
man, it's like you just start to like this more and more, and you're so mad.
I really don't like it.
He's stroking his beard.
I don't like,
and
I don't want to like
making
this,
the claw.
But this is it just says you must be a Power Up Rewards member. That's it. You don't have to be, or at least it's not explained that you have to be, but
have to be pro.
You just have to be a rewards member. So I'm just now okay. And here is me nitpicking. Let me be clear. This is just me nitpicking. It's only physical discs, but So you can't go to the GameStop library online and do it. Like, if there was anything, and I am trying to find, here's my thought. Let's just say there's someone who, just like me in the beginning, they were just reviewing what they had before they could get out and do more. With this capability, for those who are Mr. Gamer levels of a professional who go through games really quickly, like how fast I went through Odyssey, review coming soon.
Plug.
Hashtag plug. This is actually great for you because for the price of one new game for 6 months, you can rent as many pre-owned titles as you want. And let me actually break that down for you even further. Let's just say you and a friend want to get in on this. One of you buys the 6-month subscription, $60, and the other one of you buys the new game and just sells it back. Let's just say they flip it in like 2 days and you sell it back. Well, now that pre-owned game is back at GameStop, it is now part of the subscription service where you can actually just say, hey, here's my Power Pass. I want that game. It's a physical disc. It's in their library.
It's used.
It's technically a pre-owned video game. The moment that a new game is taken out of the plastic and sold back, it gets that pre-owned stamp.
And technically, you don't even have to have your friend do that because so many people will buy these new games and return them within the end of that same week.
Yeah, that's a lot of people do that. I mean, I'm like, it's really, yeah.
And the only reason you would go pro with their Power Up rewards is if you want more of their rewards, more things to do, i.e., whatever they do.
Yeah, so like for the pro rewards, you get $50 exclusive monthly offers. You get 10% off pre-owned games, which won't really matter because you're already getting them because of your subscription. You get 10% off trading credit on games. And even with their Elite Pro, that's $20 off pre-owned games and then 20% extra trade-in credit on top of
pre-owned games and accessories.
Like, I'm trying, really trying to find some fault with this. And because you know what else this makes me think of? Because, the subscription starts November 19th. Mm-hmm. So let's just say you wanted to get this November 19th. What I think about, Black Friday. And here's why. Black Friday sale comes out for a console. You got the Power Pass. You don't have to necessarily get the latest game. You have, for 6 months, their entire library that you can, because it's not like it's limited to a system. It's any pre-owned game. So you can go Black Friday, go get your system, go over to GameStop, and now here's the thing. They don't say whether or not it's one at a time. I'm going to assume it's one at a time. I believe GameFly.
It's one at
GameFly. Yeah, GameFly is one at a time. So I'm going to assume
that's still a thing.
I think so. I think it's just not as popular. Yeah. But they do one at a time. So my assumption is that you could do this one at a time. But still, like, I'm finding myself
so
liking
smart,
this.
It's stupid.
Like, I wanted them to fail. I wanted them to fall. I wanted GameStop to be no more.
Now, see, this is what we're being sold right now. Who's to say that this actually is a good thing? Because let's face it, it's GameStop. There might be hidden fees, hidden agendas, hidden this, hidden that. Corporations are corporations.
Well, I know. Based off of what we have here, just based off of the print, and I'll link to the article so you can see the picture with the fine print, though. Lighting isn't necessarily the best in it, so you can't read it very well. It doesn't say whether or not you won't be able to get the latest pre-owned game. For example, let's just say Super Mario Odyssey 2 came out today, and then someone beat it and then returned it tomorrow. Hopefully that still wouldn't count as a new title, and hopefully that would be within the library of pre-owned games that then someone else could pick up.
It typically is, because there have been times me and my husband and everybody else will go into a GameStop and be all like, oh, hey, what pre-owned games do you have? And then, boom! What game was it? Oh yeah, I remember. Ocarina of Time. Someone had, when that first came out on the 3DS, someone had just returned it. I'm like, give me that.
Yeah, so, I mean, and here's the other thing. I feel like GameStop wants to get into the market because remember when we had spoken about PlayStation Now and Xbox Game Pass?
And subscription gaming?
Subscription gaming.
No, this is more like Blockbuster. This is more like Rent a Game.
Well, but see, with Blockbuster wasn't a subscription. You paid for each individual thing. Or did Blockbuster have subscription?
Dude, you literally rented it from different things. Like, they did have, like, a Best Buy Blockbuster card.
Yeah.
Where you didn't have to pay that little extra $5 for the more expensive in-demand videotape or whatever. But, yeah.
Well, if we're going to compare this to the subscription services we talked about before, this is actually better because it's physical titles, and you get to keep one at the end of it.
You do.
But you keep 1 out of 6 months. I really hope you choose the one you really wanted. And obviously, it only lasts 6 months. We don't know if this is going to be extending or anything like that. So, come November 19th, we'll see what it's like to be in the thick of it. But, Button Mashers, I gotta say, this is looking pretty good.
I'll probably convince somebody to be a guinea pig, because I personally don't play games enough to justify me spending $60.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine this is for someone who
flips games.
Who not only flips games, but has the time to, like, doesn't have, like, 40 hours a week or some other significant time commitment.
Fair.
I said other significant time commitment. So, this is, okay. I gotta say, I'm giving this one, go sign up. They begin November 19th. Has to be activated by January 31st next year. That's probably when it's gonna go live. I would say do it. This definitely, like, especially for someone who doesn't necessarily always want to get the latest and greatest. For the price of one new game, you could get as many pre-owned games as you can play for 6 months. That's pretty good. I gotta say that's pretty good. I feel like this is going to be a lead into something significantly bigger, considering the fact that you have to be a Power Up Rewards member in the beginning, so there may be some significant tie-ins. Maybe later it will actually be a higher fee, or it could be that it's only for the pro players. We don't know.
I mean, it can either be just for the pro players, or if you're a Power Pass person with this subscription, you get first dibs on these pre-owned games.
True. I mean, that's a limited, it's all physical titles, so it's not like they could just, copy a digital one for you. No, these are all physical discs.
Yeah, like, and I can see that being beneficial. It's like, especially for something that just came out and people return, I can see that being beneficial.
All right, so, I'm going to,
be mad at GameStop because GameStop did something right. Oh my god.
Anyway, this is Mr. Gamer.
And this is Kitty Duvall.
Signing off.